Welcome back, Nerdiverse, for another episode of the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. I'm, of course, Master of the Nerdiverse, Mike G. And with me is the Master of the Nerdiverse, the Jedi Counselor himself, the man we simply call Wash. What's good, Brie?
Yo, what up? Friday. Excited to be here. Friday night, MOTN. Half the country, not world, half the country is buried in colder snow. Speaking of cold,
Frozen.
that is a cold ass Denver Broncos hat you're wearing right there.
Woo!
Yeah.
Broncos. We in effect,
Yeah.
bro. We
How we
here, dog.
feeling? How we feeling
I'm
this
feeling
weekend?
good. I'm feeling pretty good. Our chances are not as great as they could be, but they're still good, and we
I
take those.
I think that they're still solid. That's a solid team. And I think
Yes,
it's a team game. If we were talking the NBA, different story, but football is a team game. And when that defense comes to bring it, that defense comes to bring it. And Sean Payton is no damn slouch as a coach, even though I'm not the biggest Sean Payton fan. The dude knows how to coach a football team. So, no, I think it's gonna be a solid outing for the Broncos.
absolutely. What's up, Bradley? Bradley coming through hot, chilling with us. Starting QB injured. Yeah, it is what it is. But people forget that at the beginning of the season, Bo Nix and Stidwell were fighting for first for starter. They were fighting for starter.
Now,
And I think Stidwell actually started at the very, very beginning of the season. And then Bo Nix got one night where he got to start, and that was it.
it
That
was
was all
over.
she wrote. So Stiddy's ready. Our defense is ready. Like you said, Sean Payton is ready. It is what it is. We'll see if our defense can hold up, and we'll be fine.
And it's not like you're playing Tom Brady, New England Patriots here.
No,
You're
no,
playing
man.
second year Drake May, first year coach with the Patriots. Like, I know he's been around, but at the same time, they're not the juggernaut everybody's making them to be. That shield shines bright, and history is very forefront for a lot of folks. So it seems indomitable, but nah, I think you got something, man. It's
Yeah,
cold
man,
hat,
we
though.
chilling. Thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Have to we kind of match it with the dark colors, bruh. Good old Draco. Draco gonna have to bring it this weekend because we come into play, bro. We come
Yeah.
in, and I'm gonna be either extremely happy, or you know what? We made it so far. And I know this is sports, but we made it further than anybody thought we were gonna make it. And with that, we can't, both Knicks is a stud. He's gonna be in effect for a while. Speedy recovery to him. But if we can get to that bowl, I'm gonna act a fool, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got all the snacks getting ready. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
In
All the wing
fact,
stops.
in
Like
fact,
17 different wing stops, dog.
I know that the Chicago Bears aren't there, but in fact, today I just put in that PTO. I will not be in the office Monday
Please
after
don't look
Super
for me.
Bowl. I don't know what you folks are
I don't know
doing, but
what
put
condition I'm gonna
that
be in.
time off in today,
Especially
right
if we
now.
go, if the
Yeah.
Broncos go to the Super, I'm gonna be a fool, dog. I'm gonna be out in the streets. The one like all 17 Broncos fans in LA are gonna be wilding out, dog. We're gonna be we're gonna be
And
tripping. But
all 17 of y'all gonna have to get on a plane and go to Colorado.
yeah, we're all
Small
gonna
plane.
no, we're all just gonna we're all just gonna shake one singular minivan, and
Right.
that's gonna be the riot, dog. And nobody's gonna the whole LA is gonna be quiet. They're just gonna let us go.
Do you have folks out there, being the West Coast in LA now, sporting some Denver gear? I know you've been a Bronco fan since I've known you, so you're
Yeah.
tried and true. But do you have a Bronco fan coming out in the 7-Eleven and you're like,
You know what?
come on,
I
man?
saw it's rare. It's super rare when I see my kinfolk, you know what I'm saying? Um, but I saw a person with like some Broncos colors and on their car, and I was just like, respect, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I've been a Broncos fan since I was like in the third grade, bro.
Damn.
So it is what it is. LA didn't have a team for like 20 decades, Doug. So what do you want? You go with your kin, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Um,
Raiders.
the Raiders ain't no damn way, Doug. That's my division. I'm genetically predisposed to hate the Raiders, Doug. So it is what it is, man.
It's funny.
Speaking of that, enough talk about sports. and more talk about the masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. Tonight we have a insane episode lined up for you guys. I'm not going to bury the needle here, so let's just go ahead and throw that up on the screen. Tonight is Masters of the Nerdiverse, episode 150. We hit that 150, bruh. We're at 150. A tale of two cringers. We're talking about it this evening. We had some pretty crazy reveals this last week, you know what I mean? Which is a lot of this episode. And they're all here. The big heavy hitters are here. So before we get started, I'm always going to ask everyone to like the content that we put out. If you do, subscribe to the channel so that you're made aware when content does go live, and comment. Let us know your thoughts on what we're talking about this evening. We're going to have ideals, we're going to have opinions, but the opinion I care about right now is Wash's thoughts on these four topics. Fable remake first look. That thing was like 10 minutes long, bro. I didn't watch it all.
Oh,
Um, um,
I do have thoughts, but no, I did
yes.
not watch it all.
Jesus. Uh the Masters of the Universe trailer. You know I'm hype. Whether I want to be or not, I'm hype. It sucks. This we'll talk about it. Maul, Shadow Lord, like 2-minute trailer. That thing was going crazy. As well as the Invincible Season 4 trailer. Woo, some heavy hitters here. Watch out of these four topics at the beginning of all things. Which one are you most hyped to talk about?
I'm actually gonna go with, because I knew Maul was gonna be dope. I knew, I had no doubt in my mind that that trailer was gonna be dope. So I'm gonna go with Masters of the Universe because I did not think that was gonna be as dope. So I do
Nope.
have some
Nope.
thoughts.
Nope, we're going to talk about that because I watched that thing like 17 times. I had
That's
to
funny.
understand. It's one of those. But
That's
before we
funny.
get into all of that, yeah, Wash, how was your week?
Bro, like this week, I mean, considering that it's negative like
A
36
thousand?
right now with
Yeah,
like wind chilled and whatnot outside, it's been an archival type of week. So this week we did finish Splinter Cell Death Watch. And Mike, did you, two questions, Mike, two questions, because I'm always, hey Mike, you should watch. Hey
yeah,
Mike, why don't you watch? Hey Mike, you should do. Hey Mike,
yeah.
did you watch the Robin Hood Expedition Unknown yet?
I did. I actually did. I did
How
watch
was
it.
it?
I dug it. I'm actually going to be falling down an expedition on unknown hole. You know what I'm saying? So I dug it, and
Excellent,
it
excellent.
made me appreciate the trailer a lot more. You know
For
what I'm
Robin
saying?
Hood. Yeah,
For
you
Robin
know what I
Hood.
mean? It's not just batshit, oh, well, they're just a different take on Robin Hood. It's like, oh,
No,
interesting. So
it's
the
the
re
take on Robin Hood, which is interesting.
which is interesting, not the one that we're told in school or books or wherever
You
we
know what they
learned that
say,
originally.
history is written by the winners, right? So it's like, of course, he's a knight in shining armor when he's telling the story.
Correct.
But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of it's like Christopher Columbus Day. Like, why are we celebrating that? You know what I mean? We're just now kind of getting on point. Like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be celebrating that crap. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
It is what it is, so that's fine. That said, Mike, watch Splinter Cell Death Watch. I don't know if you had a chance
Okay.
to check out Tomb Raider, but I came out of Tomb Raider feeling, this I absolutely given a solid B. I'd give it a solid A, but honestly, when you get through the 8 episodes, you're like, you count up the lines of actual dialogue, and you're like, I think there's probably less than 200 lines of dialogue over the course of these 8
Sam
episodes.
Fisher
Like,
don't say a
what?
lot, man.
Yeah,
Sam
what
Fisher
just
don't.
happened?
Yeah, he don't talk much, man. He's all about
So,
business.
after watching it, the very simply put, great art style, super moody. I thought it was made by an overseas team that I did not check on. I did look at the creator and writer though, and you're going to be interested in that. But super moody, super atmospheric, great soundtrack to it. It's all like overseas house European like rock and whatnot that's going on. And this thing is like bloody violent. Like they do not hold back in any way, shape, or form, but it's tasteful in its execution. It's not
Mhm.
blood just for the sake of blood type of situation. And
Mhm.
ultimately, we get to an end in episode 8 where I feel as though versus Tomb Raider, where I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess I'll watch season 2. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, no, I kind of, where's season 2? When is this dropping? So I looked at who is this created by. The creator, writer, and director wrote John Wick 2, 3, Nobody, and
Oh,
Nobody 2.
well, right up my alley. That's the kind of
So
stuff I've been on lately.
yeah, so if
Yeah.
just to give you a tad bit of the tone, because it's hard to just pick out a tone, especially not watching John Wick. I've only seen the trailers for Nobody. I mean, I don't
Nobody is
want to.
very like John Wickish, where it's like, I'm retired. They're trying to pull me back into. It's just John
But
Wick.
but it's like Bob
It's
Ulfric.
Bob.
What it,
It's Bob Odenkirk, man. It's like it's
is he
weird.
good in that role, or is it
I don't
like watching
know.
like John Newhart like be John Wick, and you're like, yeah, this is a little weird.
I don't know. It's like that. What? It's like Colin Firth in the Kingsman. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Okay, all right,
these
that's
unassuming
good.
dudes be badasses. So we just with the proper training and the proper
Okay.
stunt team, anybody could be badass. I guess.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Well,
So we may,
I'll,
so we may have to watch Nobody, Doug. We may have to
I
check it out.
I had no intentions of watching it, but they had to have made a part two for a reason. You know what I mean?
That part. Mhm.
Um, so that was the first thing that I did. We did wrap that up. Highly recommend. Solid B. I was gonna go 7 out of 10, but it deserves higher than that. So
Hmm.
I'm actually gonna put it about an 8 out of 10 as far as like early runners this year goes. The things that my eyes have hit. So that's one thing I did. The second thing I did is play more Avowed. And I
Yeah.
know that I spoke with you last week, and I'm like, man, it's kind of a weird game. I don't know why it didn't get more recognition. But
Mhm.
when we look at what came out within the month, Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance,
That was a big one.
Tomb Raider Remastered,
Makes
Like a
sense.
Dragon
That yeah.
Yakuza,
Yakuza, yeah.
Yakuza, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Well, I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds by itself is gonna put butts in seats, man. I don't know what to tell
So
you.
it had to be a damn near perfect game, which I'm not going to say it is just because of the design and just the style. It's not nearly as familiar as those titles that I mentioned for folks to just go back to and easily pick up and know what they're going to get into. So it
Yeah.
is a brand new Obsidian adventure. That being said, I can easily see why this thing got, especially last year, when because there was just
Too
after
much.
those
Yeah.
four, there was another four that came out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was a nonstop roller coaster. So I think it just got buried. Highly recommend people checking it out. I'm probably about, man, I want to say 5, 6 hours in. It really feels like a moral win, a moral win
Mm.
fable
Mhm.
with like a large like obsidian Knights of the Old Republic tree where it's like you have
Yeah.
8 answers. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You don't have four, you have
You have
eight. And
8.
it's like, oh shit, all right. Does it really matter? I guess we'll see. So yeah, that's the other thing I've put some time into. And lastly, I would be remiss because
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Expedition Unknown.
Mhm.
As you guys know, I speak about Expedition Unknown, Expedition X.
The
Please
turbo
watch those
secrets, though.
shows.
Yeah, the
They are
turbo
great,
secrets.
great freaking shows. They're produced well. They're fantastic. So anyway, I've watched those at least like 30 times each episode because they don't make enough, and there's other stuff isn't nearly as captivating as what Josh Gates does, right? They don't do it as well. It's still good, it's just not as entertaining.
Mhm.
So this week I was on Disney and I popped on National Geographic pole to pole Will Smith. Bro,
That sounds crazy.
this thing is awesome. And I'm only one episode in, but I couldn't turn it off. It was a situation where I'm like, oh, you know what? It's time to go to bed or to go in the bedroom. And I
Yeah.
couldn't like turn it off. I'm like, no, I'm going to finish this last 15 minutes. And no one lives here with me.
No
Brian
one to
does
tell you
not.
no. No one that
Brian
no one's
does.
there to tell you no,
You,
dog.
but,
Those,
but 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 I don't keep shows on, bro. I'll just turn it off. The game, it's like, oh, boop off, and I could not turn it off
Mhm.
because it has so much heart. It's so well shot, essentially. And you were raising your hand, so go ahead, because I
No,
know
just
I'm
gonna ask, is this the thing where
rattling.
Will Smith is literally like climbing mountains and stuff like that? And he's like,
Yes,
and he's it's him doing it as Will Smith and it's
yes.
trekking his adventures and stuff, dog.
Yes, and I'll give you the brief rundown, which is why it's so kind of spectacular. So it's a National Geographic project. Not necessarily Will Smith, I don't think. It really feels like National Geographic and Will Smith guy were having like a conversation in a bar, and he's like, "Oh, so you really want to do some shit like this?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, let's do it then. And so if you have a great TV, it's just eye candy. So the first
Mhm.
episode, they're in the Antarctic, and essentially Will Smith is traveling to the seven continents, taking on some of the biggest challenges in the world, like going diving in like the South or the North Pole, like
Like ice water
ocean
type stuff.
ice,
Yeah.
like like why you doing this, Will? Well, he had a mentor who was an adventurer, and that dude died. And as Will, and this is one of the reasons it's really inspiring, especially as we get older, because let's face it, man, it's like, man, do we really I gotta drive an hour today. All right,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like Will Smith's damn near 60 at this stage, if not 60. And you see him with this mentality doing this, it really gives you the feeling of, oh yeah, there's still a little bit left. There's still a little juice left, and
Yeah,
he's
juice for
having
the
a good
squeeze.
time doing it too. You know what I mean? So check it out. Give it
Yeah,
that
so
one episode. If you don't like it, don't continue to watch it. But I think that very first episode has so much heart. Will Smith has so much heart. You learn. I learned things I didn't know about the earth, that's for certain. And it's very up to date in its science and what it's
mhm.
trying to say and tell. So, yeah, Disney Plus, pole to pole, Will Smith. Did not see it coming, but will most certainly be watching the rest.
I'll check it out because I was stuck on a lot of the Anthony Bourdain stuff, like him just traveling the world and stuff like that, and just having a plate with people. And you know what I'm saying? Like how down to earth that dude was and his philosophy and stuff like that. And it kind of reminds me of that. So that's speaking my language because I've always liked cooking shows because of my mom. She would watch the Food Network and Iron Chef and all the OG cooking shows, you know what I'm saying? And Cupcake Wars and all that crazy stuff. So Anthony Bourdain, I was like, man, this dude was really just like a world, like a international man of mystery, but it was with food. And
Anthony Bourdain is one of my top 5 people that like to have dinner with, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
people that's like, "Oh, I just wanna sit
missed
down
the
and pick your
opportunity.
brain," right? Like, he's one of the coolest, was one of the coolest MFers walking around, down to earth,
Yeah,
human.
yeah, I was stuck on that for a while because I was like, man,
Mhm.
this is so cool. Like, you know, he can walk into the most finest restaurant on earth and have a conversation with the head chef, down to finding some little hole in the wall in Taiwan and just break bread with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, who could do that? One of
I
a kind
couldn't.
human, dude. One of
I
a kind
couldn't
human.
do it, dude. I couldn't just walk into like it's some Indian kitchen and be like, okay, well, I'm here.
What we
Let's
cooking?
talk. Let's
Yeah,
have
let's
food.
chill.
Let's break bread. Like it'd be super uncomfortable. But Anthony Bourdain, and that's a completely different show. But I
Yeah.
could, dude. I love Anthony
Yeah,
Bourdain.
he's such an interesting
Great
human,
TV.
dude.
Great TV.
Such a such an interesting human. You've done so much better stuff than I did this week, man. My week was full of like slop and garbage stuff, so you have to bear with me.
You been AI slopping it, bro?
No, man, I've just been watching horrible things that I don't know why I
Oh.
decided to do. So gaming wise, I've been downloading Avowed, but I've been working from home late recently because there's construction where my spot is. So normally I would just let a game download and not be home. Like, okay, I have 9 hours to let this thing download. And Avowed's been taking forever to download because I'm here on the internet. So I haven't
Uh,
had a chance to crack it open. But as soon as I can get out this damn four walls, I can actually get it downloaded. So I'm waiting on that. Um, just been playing actually just a lot of Marvel Snap and just getting pissed because I've kind of let myself go to the wayside and I don't have the cards that I need to make the new decks that I like. And the game kind of stops being fun when you're getting stomped out by new cards that you just can't afford because I'm not going to well. It's tough, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Card games, you know?
I'm on Snap 7 times a day because it is part of my life now. It's just
Yeah.
something I do, and we haven't played since that one
In a
time that you
while.
got. Yeah, man. Because you play those tourneys a little weird. So anyway, um,
Yeah,
um,
we gotta run
but
back coming, Doug.
Yes, we do. Let me ask you, you're talking, well, I can't make the cards. I don't seem to have any issues. Look, I have 50,000 gold. I have 60,000 cubes. I can buy whatever card I want. I just think it takes the fun out of the game if I just go get all the cards. So my question, twofold question. What card or what meta deck have you looked at online that you're like, I want to make and I can't make?
You know what it is and to answer that question, there isn't any specific meta deck. Like, I'm not trying to play to win. Like, I've given up trying to get infinite every single season. It's not that serious. I'll get to, like, 75, I'll get to 80, the game will piss me off, I'll put it down. You know what I mean? Um, but it's mostly like I follow a lot of streamers who stream Marvel Snap, and they're playing these interesting thought think pieces of decks, and they're like, "I'm trying out this new card with this card, and and that looks fun to play. I want to build that deck. I want to try it out. Oops, I'm missing this card. I'm missing that card. I'm missing that card. Wow, I guess I'm not building that deck. You know what I mean? A lot of them will tell you, "Oh, what card could you trade for this new card? Oh, your credit card. That's the cards you can trade. The card is irreplaceable in this deck." It's like, well, I guess I'm not playing that deck. So, like you, I play Snap maybe once or twice a day. Just jump in there, play a couple of games, win, get 8 cubed and roll out. You know what I mean? So because that usually what kicks me out. But yeah, just mostly been playing a lot of Marvel Snap and just not as crazy as I used to be. So I just kind of dip in, dip out.
I was
Nothing too
wondering if you were
wild.
still on the meta deck deal because it's hard to keep up with because a couple of
No,
cards that
man.
they have added not only like not only do they give you 4 or 5 cards like the one card, but like then
Yeah,
one of those cards does something weird to the other cards, which changes them, which really, I don't want to say balances or unbalances, but definitely adds a tad bit of spice to the variety
yeah.
factor and, what you can do out there.
Marvel Snap is probably the best card game I've played digitally ever. It's just so snappy, no pun
Better than
intended.
Hearthstone? I was wondering
Yeah,
this.
way better than Hearthstone.
Way okay. All right.
Way better. Even in my favorite card game at the time was Magic the Gathering digital.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's how I learned how to play Magic the Gathering is digital. But Marvel Snap is just so quick and you're in and out and you can build your there's not crazy. I don't need 7 land cards to make something happen. No, just take your turns. And I like the responsiveness. I like that it's built for digital. And I'm still waiting on that Marvel Snap physical deck. I want one so bad. I wanted a collector's
Yeah.
item. Can you imagine having a Marvel Snap physical deck that you can
See,
just
but the
shuffle
problem with
around?
this is it's the
That's
same
dope.
thing with your figures up there is once
Yeah.
you get the deck, let's say you get a deck of 12 cards, Mike, you're gonna be like, "Oh, but
You
yeah,
know,
I
I
need that
wouldn't
Galactus card with
nah,
the with that
it's
one."
different.
Because it's real. It's
It's
real.
different.
It's not you're not collecting the
I'm not
digital.
no, I'm not going to the comic book store and playing cats on Wednesdays with this deck. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. It's
I would be
personal.
I want it for novelty. Like I wouldn't want series 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Give me the old school goats. That's and I'll put them in a binder and that'll be happy. And
Is
I
there
don't
any
think I'll get
talk
sucked
of
into it.
this
Yeah,
ever?
I've seen it. I've seen like people make them
Yeah.
online, like, but
Etsy?
I've never seen anything official. Like Here's the official deck of Marvel Snap. That would be freaking sick. And there's money
Yeah.
on the table because I would. You give me the first like a couple like 150 cards first. Series 1 through 3. I'm straight. That's all I
What
need.
you willing to pay for 150 Marvel cards?
Uh,
Yeah, uh-huh.
That's a whole nother. But the
Uh-huh.
problem with cards, right? I get, especially if we're gonna sell like booster cards, dude. It's like, okay, I have 5 Miss Marvels, but I'm really looking for that foil, what I'm saying, Devil Dinosaur, It's like Devil Dinosaur is like $70, bro. Like, no,
Dude,
just but let me buy all of them straight up. I don't want to
I
have to do
would
the card game.
I don't know how Star Wars Unlimited and Marvel Snap people, whose offices can't be that far away from each other,
Nah,
one would assume, have not gotten in the same room and said, "Hey, I have an idea. Why don't I turn your shit into digital and then we'll make your shit, like playable in real
physical.
life, and now
It's
we'll
got to be
just make a bunch of money." Like,
it's
what are you doing?
it's got to be so much red tape between that, dude. It's got to be mountains of red
Dude,
tape. They can't get nothing going. Like, and Marvel Snap is quote unquote a dead game. They're probably working on their next thing. You
this
know,
is what I was about to say. Here we are again talking about Marvel and Star Wars and gaming, and where it's just like, what? You
yeah.
guys, what is happening with this huge cash cow you have that you
Disney's never
can't
been
seem
good at games though. Disney has a bad track record of making decent games. You name
Yeah,
me
last
3 decent Disney property games.
I
Outside of
three
outside of King, you can outside of Kingdom Hearts.
the last one I was gonna say was the Mickey game for the Wii that was in black and white that allowed you
Epic Mickey
Epic
was
Mickey.
dope. Yeah,
Yeah, that
fine.
that is
I'll
the
take that.
last one that I can
Yeah.
think of that was just fire.
I don't
So,
know, like Epic Mickey, Kingdom Hearts, and you can't even count the Marvel games because they're not doing anything with the Marvel IP, really,
no,
except for like these little
no,
cash cow, you know, mobile games that are making them $1 billion a month. You know what I'm saying? But
unfortunately, you may have to go back to like DuckTales and Chip and Dale
that's
on
what I'm saying.
Nintendo. You know
Yeah, the
what
old
I mean?
Capcom
It's like,
games,
what?
the
What,
Darkwing Duck
bro?
game on SNES, dog.
God,
Um,
bunch of.
so I've watched 2 horrible movies that
Ooh,
that you're probably not going to enjoy, but I have to talk about them because they're dumb. So the first one I'm going to talk about is I watched the remake, and it's mind you, this is just me surfing streaming platforms. I don't know. I'm going to watch something while I eat type thing. You know what I'm saying? So I found that remake of the Toxic Avenger
okay.
is out with what's the guy from Game of Thrones, Peter
Peter,
Dinklage. Peter
yeah,
Dinklage.
Dinklage.
So, and you mind you, just a little backstory. I'm a trauma kid. I like trauma. Are you familiar with trauma? With any of the trauma
I, I,
stuff?
yes, but I especially watched the Toxic Avenger
Yeah. I
like
mean, who didn't back in the 80s and
60
90s, right?
times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Toxic,
VHS had it, wore it out.
Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man. You know what I'm saying? Tromeo and Juliet. Thanks killing. You know what I'm saying? I was a trauma kid. Like I love the guts and the gore and the profanity and the wildness and the lewdness of how trauma got down. And I was like, how are they going to do trauma in 2026 and 2025? It's impossible, right? Can't do it. So I was watching this movie and it just feels, you can feel them picking away things they would like to do, but they just can't really do it.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? Bradley, there was no it's going to be good. There's no way it's going to be good based off that trailer. It's Toxic Avenger. But that's my point, Bradley. It's Toxic Avenger is so bad it's good. You know what I'm saying? That's Toxic Avenger is not tight. It was never meant to be tight. It was a gross mutant with the mop, dude. There was Toxic Avenger toys back in the day, cartoons and stuff like that. He was up there with like Swamp Thing
yeah.
back in the 90s. But this movie with Peter Dinklage, and it's crazy to watch like a trained actor do slop. You know what I mean? Like do muck, and him really try to act like acting. You know what I'm saying? in like a trauma movie. It's
So it's not
wild.
like Billy Bob Thornton really just inhabiting Bad Santa and being like, "Oh no, I am really a terrible human in real life. We don't have to play too far to do this."
Nah, it reminds me of like Jessica Tandy. You know what I'm saying? You know, is you know
Witches.
Frankenhooker. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, and that's what kind of the vibes this whole movie is this man is acting his butt off apropos of nothing, dog. Why are you going so hard?
Oh,
Sir Dinklage. You know what I'm saying? Like no one else gives a shit. Dog. Everybody's just like goofiness and blood and wacky. Kevin Bacon's in this movie, dog. So if you need some Kevin Bacon, he
damn.
plays the villain, dog. And the whole world. And what's crazy is the two movies that I watched seem to be in the same universe in a weird way, but are not. So I want to just finish my thoughts on Toxie real quick. It's dumb. Don't watch it if you have a serious bone in your body, you're not going to enjoy it. Uh it's a lot of cussing, it's blood, it's break dancing villains, you know what I'm saying? There's a musical number. It's just out of
Oh no.
control. But what I mean is like it feels muted because there isn't any, full on nudity. There isn't that much gore. It's watered down gore, but it's gore, you know what I'm saying? People's head explodes and stuff like that, but it's not trauma levels of stupid. And you ever seen Hobo with a Shotgun?
No.
With Rutger Hauer, and it's kind of like in this weird trauma universe, another actor, you know what I'm saying, that is
No.
like doing this wild stuff. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, but it does because it's trauma. So you have to be serious within the unseriousness, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Well,
You have to respect trauma and not be serious, if
I
that makes
guess
sense.
that's what I was going to ask is ultimately did it take itself too seriously?
No.
Okay.
No. It's goofy.
Okay.
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's just trauma. Trauma is just such bad. It's like listening to Guar. You know what I mean? Like you're not listening to Guar for the musical stylings. You're listening because of Meat Sandwich and stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not.
Eh,
It's just like listening to like crunk music. You're not listening to it for the lyricism. You know what I'm saying? You're listening to it because it's ratchet music. You're in a ratchet mood. So you have to be in a trauma mood to watch trauma. So you rated your movie. I'm gonna rate this like a like a 6.5 out of
ah,
10, which is high for trauma because trauma is
yeah, that ain't
trash.
bad.
Like I said, Peter Dinklage is just going too hard in this movie, and it's hilarious to watch him try and really just emote through the toxic Avenger makeup and stuff. It's horrible, dude. Um,
I
other
method, man.
my method, you could tell he was toxic the whole shoot, was working everybody's nerves. Mr. Dinklage does not like to be called by his first name while on set. You may call him Toxie or Toxic Avenger if you're nasty. Like, what the hell, dude? The other movie I watched, which seems to be in the same universe, but it's also a remake, I watched the new Running Man movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
with
remake.
the Powell dude,
Yeah, with the guy who was everywhere and now is
Glenn
nowhere.
Powell.
Glenn
Yeah,
Powell. Yeah, he played I almost called him
still
Quaid.
haven't seen Top Gun.
Top Gun is dope. That Top Gun movie with
Yeah,
that one that just
still
came
haven't
out.
seen it. Yeah.
Ooh, talk about feast for the eyes. That movie's
Okay.
crazy. Uh, with this Running Man movie, you know what I mean? I think Paul Verhoeven directed the first Running Man, if I'm not wrong. The guy who did RoboCop, or am I wrong? I may be wrong about that.
Don't know.
Yeah, Bradley said I heard the new Running Man remake is closely related to the Stephen King novel. Yeah, it is. And what's funny is because RoboCop, RoboCop, get that out of my brain. Running Man 1 with Arnold and this Running Man feel like completely different movies because almost feels like the first Running Man did a Stanley Kubrick and just didn't care about the source material. Stephen King has problems with that. Nobody cares. Nobody respects his source material. They're just going to make whatever they want. So this remake was closer to the original uh, source material, but it was missing all the goofy stuff from the first movie, like Sub Zero, now Plane Zero. I was waiting for dumb stuff like that. You know what I mean? The guy who had the Mozart dude who was like you had the orchestra in his car. Like, wasn't that crazy? Just like you have a
No, I
question.
well, from the trailer, I didn't kind of get it was going in that direction. I kind of got it was going in one of the worst movies I've ever seen direction, which is going to be the remake of Total Recall with our boy
Oh yeah,
Penguin. Can't
Colin
stay, yeah,
Farrell.
yeah, can't not a
Yeah,
fan of that movie at all. It makes me
yeah.
angry. In
Mm-mm.
fact, I,
I
I'm
get verbally upset.
I'm Guado, dude.
I'm
You,
no, you're
you're a
not.
6 foot tall white dude. What are you
You're not,
talking about? You're
you're not
Guado.
Guado, bro.
You're not
Guado was
Guado,
this
bro.
dude. Guado
That-
was this dude. Open your mind, Quaid.
Dude, but in that by that point, I was on fire. So when that hit, oh shit, I was in a theater, like oh hell, like
You
arms
went to
were
the movies to see that?
yeah, dude. I was
Oh
flinging
man,
like
poor
I was
you
not
poor
happy.
unfortunate soul,
It,
dog. Jeez.
it reminded me of something like that where it was taking itself relatively seriously as an action movie and what it was doing. I thought that was kind of the vibe, like two
And you know
hours,
what it
20 minute,
felt
like
like?
in depth Harrison Ford, the fugitive type of situation. Not what we got.
Nah, it feels like a video game. It felt like they were trying to go for that Paul Verhoeven RoboCop satirical future, where it's like the future is messed up and
Mhm.
the rich are turbo rich and the poor have to uh uh qualify for the Running Man, the game. And there's all types of games because how society is set up is only way you're going to make money is if if you actually like threaten your own life. So you have to get into these crazy games where people bet on how long you can live and bet how long you can survive the Running Man. And it's all done in like this weird kind of like reality TV type vibe where there was a full allegory to like the Kardashians was the main show that was being watched on the background of this movie. And it's like that's whack. Um there are kind of like hunters, but they're not cool. They're just kind of like army bros. And one dude literally looks like Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell, like the main hunter guy. He wears like a balaclava and he's just like, time to hunt, like freaking Alien versus Predator and shit like that. So it's like, oh man, I kind of want the colorful, stupid supervillains that chase these dudes around the world. But whereas in the Running Man OG, they were kind of like in this arena where nobody was around. In this Running Man, they're just out in the world and anybody can get you, right? Like,
Oh,
if you tell on the Running Man and the information is valid, you'll win money. So there's a financial incentive to say, I saw the Running Man down the street.
why not
Get
just
him.
go try and like rob a bank and be done with it, man? Like,
Nah,
what do
man.
you do?
You gotta
It's same stakes. You
you
know
gotta
what I
you gotta have the
mean?
whole earth has to try to kill you
Like
in the
what?
Running Man.
All
Oh
right.
man, Bradley, why did you watch The Long Walk, dude? He said it's way too emotional. Um,
Oh, I
yeah,
do want to watch that.
Yeah, I kind of do too. It's on my list, but I watched two horrible movies, which I think we're in the same universe because I could see Toxie right down the street from the Running Man because they both lived in like a crappy because like the trauma verse, it's its own universe. You know what I mean? The world doesn't work the same. You know, in this Running Man TV series, it didn't really work the same. You know what I mean? The world, the rules of the world were dumb. Where it's like people are dying from the flu because they're so poor. You know what I mean? People are dying from like the most nowadays commonly cured illnesses because times are so hard and the differential between the haves and the have-nots is so wide. You have no other choice but to either work the salt mines or join the Running Man are the options.
All right. Well, good to know because I was curious, but
Check it
wasn't
out.
what I expected you to
It's
say.
turbo
All right.
dumb. It's dumb fun. You know, Powell is exploding. There's guns. Michael Cera's in it for some reason. It's a whole lot of fun. Whew, you ready to get into some topics, my man? So
Let's roll.
I'm not one to bury the needle. Let's just roll right into it. This channel is called Masters of the Nerdiverse, right? This movie is called Masters of the Universe. I am contractually, spiritually, and physically obligated to see this movie, whether I want to or not. Surprise it to me, I saw the trailer and didn't realize who's behind this movie. The guy who did the only good Transformers movie ever made, Bumblebee, And if you haven't seen it, Kubo and the Two Strings, which is probably my favorite stop motion animation movie ever made. So this guy loves his nostalgia. This guy gets it right. Um, Stephen McKnight, I think I name it. I think is the guy running this. Wash. My question for you is: do you think the trailer showed too much, or do you think it showed just enough to get people hyped for a idea that's so crazy?
Masters of the Universe was my first. Like, my brother was playing with Transformers. I didn't have GI Joes. Like, I that was a tad bit older than me. So my literal, like, 6, 7 year old was Masters of the Universe and He-Man, and I had Castle Grayskull and
Hmm.
this, that, and the other. I thought that this trailer needed to hit. Why? Because the last He-Man anything was that terrible. Was it 2012, 2009? What was that last He-Man project that they did?
There's
That
been
was
a
like My
couple in
Little.
between. It was like
Was
My Little
there?
Pony, He Man.
It was
There
like
was a
My
good.
Little Pony, like He-Man.
There was two, right? There was a good one that happened in between that got canceled because of a lack of toy sales or whatever. But there was a
Okay.
dumb one that happened between that and now, which was bad.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, my experience was, you know what? He-Man needs a redo. Like, we need a new, fresh take on what He-Man was, because the last it was not good. The last what I saw of him was, and maybe I'll put in the comments whatever film that was. That said, for me, I had heard bad things about this movie
same here.
already. There had been
Nothing but bad things.
whispers upon the internet that this trailer coming out was not going to be good, that this was going to be like Thor, God and Thunder and Love types of dumb. And you know what? The trailer hit. I watched it and I went, "Damn,
Why?
you know what? I I'm in this one instance, this 2 minute, 30-second long trailer, give or take, which I normally would tell you, Mike, yeah, they showed us too much. I think it hit right where it needed to hit, because at the end, I was like, if you give me my Masters of the Universe, like I have the power, I think I'm gonna be sold. And they did it, and they did it well, and it was cut well, it sounded well, it looked well, and I went, "Damn, guys, good job, good job." And we didn't even talk about anything else. I'm just talking about the trailer itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to hate this because I'm so protective of it, right? Like you, grew up with Thundercats, He Man, Transformers. I'm an 80s kid, old fogey. Like you, I've heard nothing but bad things about the production of this film. They've been trying to get it off the ground for eons. There was some kind of weird isekai, he's on Earth type thing, which I didn't like at first, but now I've turned around on, and I'll tell you why. So when I saw this trailer, like you, I was like, okay, okay, okay. Now, okay, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? I have the power. And I was like, I yelled in my room, I'm getting hyped. I don't like it. Why am I getting hyped? No, this can't be the way. I can't let myself fall for it, right? And I was like, I was trying to be all, I'm not gonna like it because I'm an old nerd and they can't destroy my childhood. Whoop de whoop. And then I watched it again. And then I watched it again. And I watched reaction videos and saw other people get hype. I was like, damn it, it has me. It has me. I can't fight the feeling anymore. And what the problem is that it's so hard to get that balance of taking itself too seriously and not taking itself seriously enough. You know what I'm saying? Like the in He-Man is one of those IPs where it's like you got to be a little goofy. You have to be a little. There's a green talking tiger that's running around. Skeletor is literally a skeleton face with a buff man body. It makes no damn sense. There has to be a balance of taking it yourself a little seriously, but not taking yourself too seriously. And that's one of the hardest things these movies like this can do. It was like, oh, we're mad because He-Man is on Earth. I was like, in the Dolph Lundgren movie with one of the GOAT movies of all time, in my opinion, they're on Earth a lot. You know what I mean? It's precedented that Earth and Eternia exist in the same galaxy, universe, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm okay with that. Um, him being sent away as a child because of the turmoil in the Civil War of Eternia makes sense. Fine. Whatever we need to do to get where we need to go. You know what I'm saying? As long as in the last half hour of that movie, it's six Skeletor and He-Man action. I don't care how we get there, Doug.
I am in agreement with you that I came to whatever we have to do to get where we need to go. Like we saw the human part, and you know what? I went, what? How? Same as you. Like it has to be kind of stupid and silly, but it can't take itself. You know what I mean? I
It's
don't want to
hard.
watch. I don't want to watch He-Man like unfortunately, he was in his shirt when he went there, and so he's in a suit, and it's like, guys, they like changed the costume. But I don't want to watch this character in LA. You know what I mean?
It's
So how
hard.
are you
Yeah.
going to do this? And so they did it, and I went, ah, you know what? Whatever
I'm fine
gets
with
us
it.
here,
Whatever
fine.
gets us here.
Let's go. I'll take it. But
It's like,
I think that they put a good cast around them.
yeah,
I think they put a good cast in this. And the thing that really sells me is Jared Leto as Skeletor. When you
yeah.
look, he is crazy enough to actually, he is crazy and method enough to
Talk about
literally
method,
walk
right?
around being Skeletor for the last 6 months of his life. And it's like, who's Jared? Nah, that's Skeletor, bro.
Please don't call
Ah,
him
what do
Jared.
you
It
need?
upsets him.
You're like,
Man, I'm not Jared Leto. I'm Skeletor.
so that
What the
it,
fuck?
I'm not a big Leto fan, but in this instance, it's like, no, he fits the role. Had you put Johnny Depp there, I probably went, yeah, that probably worked too. But had you went and put, an actor, Peter
That's what I'm
Dinklage
saying.
there, it probably wouldn't have worked out for me. Even though Jared Leto, Oscar winner, I'm not taking anything away from the
Yeah, like a part of me, the ultra turbo nerd, like gatekeeper part of me, wants the Christopher Nolan directs Masters of the Universe. Like that would be crazy. Would take itself way too seriously,
man. Yeah.
but it would be crazy, right? But the way they're approaching it here, and like you said, I'm not a Jared Leto fan. I don't. He was a horrible Joker. It's whatever, whatever. But the guy looks like Kendor. Looks like Skeletor before he becomes Skeletor. So and he has to wear Blueface the entire time. So it's like act through that, buddy. Idris Alba as Man of Arms. I'm fine. I don't care. You know what I mean? Get me a no-name actor. No disrespect to Nicholas here to play the main character because I don't want to see Dwayne the Rock Johnson as Conan the Barbarian. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm
it just
glad that didn't
pulls you
happen.
right out.
It
Pulls you
could
right
have
out.
happened. It didn't happen. In fact, now that you mentioned, I think he was attached to the project at
At
one
some
point in
point,
time. So
yeah.
it's like,
I I don't want to be hyped, bro. I'm so scared. This movie scares me, bro. Like I'm terrified of this
I,
movie because
I'm in it
what?
for the dumb fun. I'm in it. I'm in it now. I'm just in it. I'm not. I'm in it. It hasn't moved to the top thing I'm looking forward to this summer, but I got to tell you, it was not on my radar, and now it is. It was. I know it's coming out. I have no expectations,
No,
and now expectations have risen a little. I'm at least expecting Age of Ultron. You know what I mean? I'm at least expecting that.
like this is one of those movies where I don't need to see anything else. Just put it out.
No.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see no other clips. I don't want to be. I you already sold me. I'm gonna be there with my Masters of the Universe popcorn bucket with Skeletor head, and I'm gonna be locked in, whether I want to or not, because it's just one of those things. It's 1990s TMNT. What am I not gonna watch that? It's impossible. So very hyped for this. Very, 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 very hyped for this. Speaking of lowered expectations, um, I wanted to bring this up for you because this is a weird article and it's a weird kind of talk bit that I wanted to add. So Kathleen Kennedy, who's on her way out as the front runner of Star Wars and all Star Wars things, recently did like an interview in regards to Last Jedi director and Knives Out director, what's his
Ryan
name?
Johnston.
Ryan Johnson. Thank you. And she was saying that, well, seems like Ryan Johnson kind of got spooked by all the online backlash of The Last Jedi, which caused him kind of pull away from the franchise. To which Ryan Johnson retorted, "No spooks here." You know what I mean? It's just how it went. You know what I mean? I don't even know where that came from. My question to you, Wash, is given that you would think Ryan Johnston and Kathleen Kennedy would at least be on like talking, like relationship, given like how her role in all things and his role at the time and all things. And they were saying that Ryan Johnston was going to direct like 10, 11, and 12. That was the rumor. I guess that's done now. Do you think the miscommunication here is just a symptom of a bigger illness, or do you think that these people just really don't talk to each other, and like they just things get lost in translation?
This is something I think like, this is sports. This is Kevin Durant snipping at somebody in the locker room. This is LeBron James like passive aggressive. No, Luka's the best player on the planet. He's been playing in the Lakers for a year now. So I'm happy that he's here. It's that type of passive aggressiveness. And I'm just gonna go back to say that is how decisive that movie was. That movie one day I'm sure that there's going to be like a large book or a film documentary that comes about the making of this movie, because you can tell just from this little back and forth, one tweet, one statement, and it's like, why are
Why are we still
y'all
on this?
y'all put it out and it's a decade old and you're still hostile, and it's like it ruined careers, it ruined reputations, and ruined being a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't take them off the table. It just left a bad taste in people's mouths. I am sure that there are plenty of writers, studio heads that went to go see The Last Jedi, came out of The Last Jedi and went one of two ways. Kathleen, that was a great movie. Ryan, what the hell did you do?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
like?
Mind you, movies of this caliber, of this scrutiny, are seen by every single important person at least 7 times, right? These things don't come out. The script was read 8 or 9, 17,000 times, right? And it's like you knew what kind of time this man was on before the first shot was filmed. So it's like you know what his plans were, and Disney, as they do, they favor public opinion over content, right? And the second a disparaging word came out about this, they just turned on it with the trolls. And mind you, this is probably one of the most like divisive pieces of media. Like, bro, it's kind of
Mark
weird how
Hamill's spoken out about it.
he's been
He
negative
had
about it. He had
he's like,
issues.
I didn't like the way it went. So you can only imagine,
Wild.
like, and these people still have to kind of work with each other within this
Yes.
industry
You just
and
have to be
within different
chummy.
projects. And so, as you're saying, so no, this is kind of like kind of a swipe, a little bitter. I wasn't in the room. All I know is that it justifies not the fans, but it justifies a lot of conversations in regards to the decisiveness of decisions that were made within this movie, be it for the better or detriment of the overall series and where we end up.
Man, it's so crazy. Like, I didn't mean for this to get so deep, but it's really just like, why would she even bring that up? Like,
Because she's on
what
her
was it?
way
Apropos.
out. I,
It's like, yeah,
she,
it's literally it's your last week of work, and you talking shit about everybody.
you're Kevin Durant. You
Yeah,
just
you're
walked
you're
out,
airing it out.
man. You look.
You're airing everybody out. And you know that you
Tweet.
know that you know that Ryan Johnston, man. Yeah, that guy punked out because some people threatened me online. Like that dude was getting death threats. People probably showed up to this dude's house. Fans are crazy. Like, just like Rose Tran, who's in this
Yeah.
poster, got scared out, got pushed out of Hollywood just because of the negativity surrounding. Specifically, they really went after her after this film. They really went after her, and like you said, careers were destroyed. People lost livelihoods over this film, and Kathy is kind of just letting it all hang out, isn't she? That's kind of wild. I don't know how
Who
to feel about that.
greenlit it? You know what I mean? When the buck stops at the top.
Hey, sometimes the lady doth protest too much. Is all I'm saying.
Hey, I don't know what happens next. I don't know where we go, but I do
Ugh.
think that just the overall discussion around this, it's fascinating. It like the inner the palace intrigue of it all. It's like, will we ever know one day? Did everyone just hate it? And Ryan's like, no, we're
No,
doing it my way. Or did everybody say, no, this is dumb? And
it's
Kathleen's like, we're killing.
I think it's the other. I think it's that. I think everyone was like, "This ain't it, man. This kind of ain't it. What are you talking about? This ain't it." And Kathleen was like, "All starboard bow. All what I'm saying, like, uh, you know,
Dollars are spent.
full steam ahead is what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like you would have reshoot this because it's not tested that way. Shut up. It's coming out. Right is the future. Everyone's gonna love this. And it's like you guys just don't know. It's just Empire Strikes Back again, bro. Everybody hated Empire when it first came out. People forget that. People hated Empire back in the day. It got bad reviews.
I was
Now
heated
it
coming out of this movie, bro. Heated,
now Empire is arguably the best of the entire series.
arguably.
Arguably. But Star Wars go to Star Wars. I think I'll steal that from you. Star Wars
Yeah,
is go
that's
to
a good
Star Wars.
T-shirt.
Yeah, Star Wars is good to Star Wars. Speaking of t-shirts, this guy's just shredded. We're entering Invincible season 4. A lot of big characters are coming out. There's been even been hints of the final boss of Invincible. I guess my question to you, Wash, is do you follow Invincible? Is this something you watch or have read, or is this on your radar on any level?
I have watched the first 2 episodes of Invincible and decided that I did not want to watch it anymore because it did not capture. It was good, but it didn't capture me for whatever reason, be it the art style, be it the storytelling. But I have watched trailers, and I'm going to say this, not knowing anything about the show. And please, I want you to tell me, do I need to watch the show? Because
Yeah,
you know what I like, you know what I mean? But this trailer looks he when you open this trailer and what he's going through, it seems like the exact same crap he was going through in episode 2 when I stopped watching it. And I was like, so as a character, as growth wise, we're still kind of this, you know, shy bastard. And your dad, I get it, whatever. Like, I don't know. That's my thoughts. So you
Mark.
tell me. You tell me. Is it the same thing in season 4 or not?
That's the characters. What you're asking is a character trait. You know what I mean? And it's like, is Bruce Wayne going to be dark and brooding this entire time? Yes, it's Bruce. It's Batman. He's going to be dark and brooding for the remainder of the series. And Mark Grayson, he is a hero that is fighting he's uphill every single time. This kid never catches a break. He's fighting people 18 times more powerful than him and getting mollywopped every single time. He's always on the back foot. He's never fully assured of himself, which is why his name is Invincible, because he's the furthest thing from it. You know what I mean? But he's getting stronger. He's getting more, applicable. I read this book. I was one of those who read the graphic novels, and I kind of know how everything's going to play out. I know what you like, Wash, and I would say this is probably not going to be for you, um, because it does dwell in the house of shock for shock's sake. You know what I mean? Like, it is written by Robert Kirkman, for Christ's sake, the guy who did Walking Dead is the same
Okay.
writer of Invincible. So he likes to punch you in the gut and see how you react. You know what I mean? So this is one of those series. There's one part of this series now we will say I'm dreading because it's such a morally apprehensible part of the series to me, that I'm like kind of don't want to watch this season because every single season I'm scared they're going to do it, and I don't know if they're going to do it. And it's like a really not cool part of the book. And mind you, this is a superhero book with capes and stuff, but as you can see, seasons 1 and 2, it wants to be more than that. You know what I mean? So where this story goes, I don't think you would enjoy it, but it is one of the best superhero books ever made.
And I
Respectfully.
guess and I guess that's what I'll say. It wants to be more than that, but is it more than that? this is the initial pull I got right away. It's like, what are you doing? But I know what I'm watching, and it's not
You know what the
coherent.
series is? Is the event that happens was so egregious to me, it turned me off of the entire series, reading
Yeah.
it. And it's almost like, you with this girl and you guys are getting along just fine and relationship's going great, but she cheats on you that one time and now it's all salted. So even if you get back together, that wound, the scar of that wound will never truly heal. It's kind of like that with Invincible. It's like I just couldn't get back into it as much as I wanted to because of what happened. And then they push it, and that what happened is such a linchpin of the entire story that it spikes out into other things in the story, and it's like you can't avoid it. It's kind of
Are they doing a
yeah,
one-for-one retelling of the graphic novel?
yeah, yeah. From my understanding, the gape part, man. Yeah, I know what you mean, and I read it too, and I love it. See, that's where we're different, Bradley. I didn't like that part. I didn't like it because it was not cool. I personally, it scratches the part of my brain that does it. It goes, ew. Why did that have to be included? You know, um, for what? You know what? It's like eating a cheeseburger and biting into like a marshmallow in the middle of your
I,
burger. Why are you here? You just threw off my entire experience of eating this burger.
I
Ew.
understand.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is. I ordered a cheeseburger, think I'm gonna get a cheeseburger deliciousness, and there's a damn Reese's cup in the middle of my peanut butter and in the middle of my burger, and I'm not expecting it. I'm like, ew, what the is that peanut butter? I'm good. I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of
Yeah,
those.
I don't know. I don't know then. Yeah, because
It's
I don't
tough.
like that feeling,
It's
man. I'm not a fan
it's
of baiting into that and being like, ah, yeah,
no.
I wasn't expecting banana here.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
now you have
awesome, man.
to finish your burger though.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta finish it. It's like,
But to
no.
finish that burger, nah, I'd rather not, dude. Uh, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Still one of the best superhero stories ever written. It's just
Okay.
Ryan Kirk Robert Kirkman does a little too much. We normally don't talk about stuff like this, but I recently had my black card removed by somebody because truth be told, I haven't watched Sinners yet.
Me neither.
Okay, I'm not crazy, right? I'm
Okay.
not nope. Okay, so Sinners
Don't really want to.
and don't really want to. If we're keeping it a full buck, Sinners breaks all records. Has won 16 Oscar nominations. And the reason I added this to the docket is because someone said something that was kind of interesting, and someone said, "I hope the nominations aren't the win, and this thing just goes flatline at the Oscars. Like the 16 nominations is your
Damn.
victory. What if it flatlines, right?" And truth be told, this is one of those movies that I just never had real desire to watch. It was one of those things that were so popular, it turned me off, like Hamilton, right? I didn't want to watch Hamilton for years because it's like, shut up. I'm tired of hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? Until I watched Hamilton and it was excellent,
It was one of
but
the best things we reviewed last year, Super Mario Brothers. We
I'm
both
tired
in
of hearing
agreement.
about it.
We didn't want to.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
Okay, if
so
you
good.
say so.
Okay, if you say so, right? And it's like I get it, and I'm all about, what I'm saying, we good, but I don't care. I don't want to watch the shit. You can't make me watch the shit. I don't care how good it is. I don't care what it promotes. Ryan Coogler, you got it, bro. I guess if I had a question, wow, Sinners is a good film. Shut up, Bradley. I'm not. You're joining the rah rah. You're not helping my cause here. Wash, are we culturally obligated to check this out? Is this going to be an MOT? Is this going to be a reluctant MOTN reviews in the making?
Look, I I have not had any
I
deep
don't want to
desire to
watch it.
watch the movie. It just it, it just doesn't look like the type of movie I watch. Like it
I
just
don't
doesn't
know.
look like it's a vampire movie. Yeah, it's a Michael
You
B.
know,
To be fair, I haven't watched Michael B. Jordan's Apollo or Rocky that he did, and I love freaking Rocky. You wanna know why? Because I can take or leave Michael B. Jordan. That's
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 fine.
the that's the
I'm kind of the
absolute
same
truth of
way.
it all matter. So
Uh,
it doesn't whatever. That being said, I understand the need that I should check it out, not because of the whole like
okay.
the
What
whole
are we
thing,
doing? What are we
but
doing?
more to the point, it has 16 Oscar nominations. This is
That
technically
speaks
a
volumes.
super good film.
Yeah.
I personally, there just has not been a time. And you're here. We go through it every week. There's always something else for me to watch besides Sinners. There's been multiple times I've been on HBO, had the Sinners up, and I'm like, Sinners is on.
Right.
You know what? I got a new Expedition Unknown to watch though. So you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna check that out instead and blow an hour. And so I can't come back to your 2 hour, 30-minute long vampire
The
film.
3 hour
I'm freaking sorry, man. Sorry. So that's my excuse.
I
We'll
got a
get
bone to
to it, I
pick.
guess.
I got a bone to pick with Bradley because he turned his nose up at the dance at the at breaking out into song with Toxic Avengers. But this movie has a whole song section where they dance and prance and vampires in the moonlight. So that's good. I don't know. Uh the last time I watched Michael B. Jordan was on the episode of Burn Notice where he shows up as a kid. That's the last time I've watched Michael B. Jordan in anything. Like you said, I'm not a Michael B. Jordan guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Could take or leave him. But I do feel like the only way we're gonna watch this movie is if we make it an MOTN reviews.
Yeah,
That's the
I
only
think
way.
so. I think so. And in fact, when I saw this on the lineup, I was saying to myself, I'm like, we might as well just put it on the docket for the. It
God
has
damn
16
it.
freaking Oscar
I
nominations,
know
bro.
that
We
that
have
speaks
to
for
see
itself.
it.
I'm,
Like, look, if it was a drama, I'd be like, yeah, not watching Meryl Streep,
but
like,
it's
but it's
about
not. It's a vampire
it's a
film. It's
vampire
what we
movie.
do.
It's a siege movie. It should be right up our alley, right? You know
And
what
we'll
this was a
probably love it. We'll probably come on here and we'll gush about it for hours.
but I
But
don't want to
yeah.
do it, man. You put arm firmly behind my back, Doug. I don't want to do the shit. Firmly behind my back. We're culturally obligated to watch the shit, Doug. This may be our
Shit.
next when we come back around to MOTN reviews. This will probably be the next thing.
That's
Fuck,
probably gonna
because
have
it's
to be the
topical and
sucks.
stupid. Speaking of things that are topical, it says watch this time to go crazy. Star Wars Shadow Lord trailer. Sam Whittier is a goat, man. Sam Whittier, his voice acting is getting better and better and better. Wash, r- talk to me like I'm 10 years old. Why is this trailer cool?
Oh, dude, this trailer's cool because freaking Maul's back. What do you mean, why? Look, Clone Wars. Last time we saw Clone Wars, right?
Mhm.
He's with Palpatine and his brother. Palpatine slices his brother in half, sends Maul off. Then we don't see nigh near hair of him until Rebels, or the
Mhm.
end of Clone Wars, pardon me, when he's taking over Mandalore, taking over the Underground, which is where I thought this trailer or this show was going to pick up, was during that time, because I thought it was about as time as the Underground. Much to my surprise, this looks like it's set after Order 66, in which case Ahsoka Tano has let him go. He has escaped. He is now doing whatever's Maul doing, which leads us up to his meeting in Rebels with Ezra. So, this is the gap that we're going to be experiencing post Order 66 through, I want to say, season three, like episode
Mhm.
two, season two, somewhere up in there of Rebels. And that's a large gap. Why was this trailer awesome? Look, I, like anyone else, you could have given me anything. You could have said, Han Solo. You could have said, we got a tale of two cringers and it's the new Star Wars film, and I would have been amped. Why are we going back to the well? You know what? I don't know. And I don't care. I've watched Clone Wars top to back 8 freaking times. There are 100 freaking plus episodes in that thing, and I enjoy it each and every time. In fact, just finished it about 3 weeks ago again because I knew this was coming out. So, um, I love the fact that we still get to see Jedi. I love the tone. Maul looks like
Inquisitors,
he's on a
bro.
mission. We have
Inquisitors.
Inquisitors. Mike, we still have a question, even though we now have a correlation between at least the 11th brother and Ahsoka. What's the dust people about?
I don't know.
Are we going to
I
learn
don't
what
know.
the dust
I don't
people are
know.
about? Because that's who this is. Ahsoka turns him in the dust in episode 5 after Shadow
Wait,
in Ahsoka. Yeah.
isn't that just like Night Sister magic or something? the dust people, aren't they just correlated to like
But it's Snoke.
Dathomir and all that
Are you
stuff?
telling me Snoke was made from Dathomir? I don't know.
I don't know. Could be.
I mean, I guess yes.
But what
Okay.
wasn't Snoke made from that cloning, like Operation Star or whatever that was making all the clones for Palpatine? Am I
I
getting all that mixed up?
he supposedly is a clone, but we don't have neither hair story about that really.
Wait,
We just have that.
but
But to your point,
yeah,
when they did Maul's legs, yes, that is how the Dathomirian witches did it with like sand. That is how it looks
yeah.
when it comes out. So, um, are they?
Are they Dathomir magic nonsense? Because that Night Sister magic is super busted, dude.
I
They can
don't.
literally do whatever they wanted to do.
But it would be in like the Emperor. That's a completely different. I'm gonna have to think about that and get back to you. That's a
Yeah.
lore
Okay.
question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on.
I have a question for you. It's a very mature question. It's for mature people who've lived on this earth longer than normal. Can we finally admit that Star Wars animated has not not only eclipsed but thoroughly eclipsed Star Wars live action?
I,
Can we
I
finally
said
admit
this
that?
a long time ago. Yes, long time.
Because if this was live action, it would not be as hitting, it would not be as pretty, it would not be as impactful. They probably try to drag Ray Park back up to do this, and it just wouldn't be the same. No shots fired. I know that guy's going through stuff. Shout outs to Ray Park. But it just seems like Star Wars animated just hits different. You know what I mean? Like it's just the fights are just so more cooler, like because they can do more. It's digital,
They
you can
could
do
do
whatever you
more.
want, you know? So I look at this and I think about watching the Bad Batch and how much I enjoyed that. Going back and watching Clone Wars. You know what I mean? And it's like I compare that to like the Skeleton Crew or Book of Boba Fett, and it's like, ugh, it's like it's almost unfair. It's like,
It's
it's like comparing the
even
Batman
when you look at Shadow Warrior, that Clone Wars imagination that we got with Ahsoka and Anakin, and they're in the Clone Wars, and you're watching it, and it's amazing to watch. Don't get me wrong,
but it could have been
but
so much
it could
better
have been so
if it was
much better.
animated. And it's like we're just not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess it's just different tones, but at the same time, I look at something like this and I'm looking at him in that he has his own like hallway scene and he throws his lightsaber and it swings around and comes back and is so active. And it's like, why can't we get that kind of impact on live action? It just feels different. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
To your point, why can't we get that in live action? And I saw this. What, Maul? Why are we going back to Clone Wars? You guys got nothing else, and it's like,
There's more
well,
story to tell.
there's more story to tell, and Maul is a super popular
Uh,
freaking character, man.
Yes.
Like,
He is the
he's
most popular character outside of OT.
dude.
Easy. There's no other character outside of Anakin Skywalker, which you really can't count because Anakin's been there since day one, here, from a certain point of view.
From a certain point of
Um,
view, yeah, there you go. I like
so
that.
it's like this guy is the most popular character. They're going to feed the well. You know what I'm saying? They're going to water the well. And it's like, I want to learn more about Maul. He's super interesting. He's an
Super interesting.
anti-hero at this point. You know what I mean? He is,
And he's super busted powerful because he has Dathomirian witch stuff, plus he
with
has dark
Sith.
side emperor
Yeah,
training. Like one to one training. You know what I mean? He's not supposed to exist. He's literally like a figment of something's imagination. It
imagination.
is not supposed to exist. The emperor was supposed to off him a long time ago, which is why the inquisitors like the emperor's been looking for
Looking
you
for you. They want
because
you dead.
you are a problem.
You can't just have you out in the
Problem.
galaxy. You know what I'm saying?
No, no. And when you really get to the heart of Maul's story, Maul, all he wants is a freaking apprentice. All he wants is a freaking apprentice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tie this into something you said, and I think about every time I rewatch Ahsoka. Ezra, dark side. But now that Dave Filoni is in charge, who is in charge of Rebels, do we now get to see Ezra perhaps float back to the dark side,
Why
which
not? What else are you gonna do with his character? And what's crazy is that this is all liquid. It's all liquid. They can do whatever they want.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not gonna affect any future events in the timeline. Because honestly, A Force Awakens has nothing to do with any of this, and everything to do with any of this. So you can do whatever you want. There is no bumping into the future. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Maul gets sliced by Kenobi on Tatooine, so I guess she could perhaps come across his like dead skeleton
His
like
legs, his
corpse.
little
Like,
skeleton legs, right?
like
Oh
she
shit.
rebuilt Maul from
From the
one
waist up.
divinity. Like,
And now
what?
we got 2 malls. We got legs mall
All
and we
right.
got torso mall,
So
you know? Very hype about this.
I think it was dope, and I watched the trailer like 7 times, like you did with He-Man. And I think I
Yeah,
screamed
you know,
each time that lightsaber went out of his hand,
it's
and
flipped
then
around and he just
I
caught it
also
back,
screamed when
bro.
the Jedi's like, "Choo, choo, are we gonna
Yo,
have to
bro
run our whole lives?" And I'm like, "Yup,
bro was
that's
getting
what you do
loose,
now."
Doug. Yeah, bro was getting loose, Doug. Let's go. He was getting active. Let's
Last thing, I love the fact that this ends on May the 4th
let's do it. Because you know there's
because
gonna be
they're
an
gonna give us
announcement.
something.
They're gonna give us something.
They're gonna give us
I
something.
I know I just spent like the last 10 minutes dogging live action, but if they can give us some live action Maul with Sam as Maul, because the guy's fit. He's got to be like in his 40s, maybe in his
Yeah,
late 40s. He could do it.
early 40s, I'd say. Yeah,
Let Sam do it. Let
yeah.
Sam do it, man. He's earned it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
I think
Sam has a Twitch channel where he plays a lot of real-time strategy games and like Baldur's Gate stuff like that. But a lot of the time he's in Maul and Emperor voice, so he'll like just start breaking
slip
out
into
talking.
it.
Yeah, dude,
He
he'll
can
just
slip.
slip into it near an hour, like it's dope. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Whitwer's awesome. Good for
yeah,
him.
that's salt of the earth type of dude. Speaking of things that are literally made from the salt of the earth, we have to talk about it. The Fable reboot Windows released for fall 2026. Fable's one of those games that was on the Xbox way back in the day, and it was a cultural phenomena. It was really interesting to see Microsoft just kind of let it die on the bone. And this is one of their. It was like Fables, Halo. You know what I'm saying? Project Gotham Racing of like the Xbox games. My question for you, Wash, is do you have any history with Fable as a series? Fable 1, goated Fable 2? And do you find yourself jumping into a giant RPG that this is turning out to be?
Beat Fable 1 and Fable 2.
There you go. There you go.
Liked Fable 1 a tad bit more than I liked Fable 2, I do believe. Um, I'm very interested in what this is now because I thought this was the new Fable game. We talked about Fable was supposed to be getting a new game. Is this
This is it.
the aforementioned? Because you have Fable reboot, so I didn't know if it's like a reboot of part 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Or is
I
this
think no,
Fable
I think this is
3?
like Fable 3, but it's a C boot. It's like
My
a
pr-
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
my problem with the trailer in that case is it looked and sounded like 2 in that 8 or 9 minute long thing. I watched a few
Maybe
minutes, and it was the reason I asking is because I thought it was new. I thought it was Fable 3, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, why does
it's
the
not 3. It's just Fable.
it's just Fable, but
Mhm.
a new edition of Fable, a new game. But when I was looking at the playthrough, it looks like the same Fable 2, the same like choices and things were going on. So I didn't know as soon as you put reboot up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was kind of the verbiage they've been using, that this is a restart to the series, you know what I mean? Where, you
So
make
new
your own
game.
new game. It's not like a remaster or nothing like that.
Okay.
They're not building over the skeleton of 2 or anything weird like that.
Our confusion in this issue shows that they have a problem with this game.
Exactly. That's weird. That's like us having to talk through something so simple as to what it is. It's not good game design, guys. It's not good messaging. It's not good messaging. I wouldn't even go to the game design. I say it's just not good messaging. Because I was like, yeah, maybe. You know, Fate of the Old Republic is a sequel. That's pretty clear. KOTOR remake. remake, right? This just being called Fable, looking and smelling and acting like Fable 2 makes you think maybe they're just remaking Fable 2, or maybe they taking the best parts of Fable 2 and Fable 1 and making that
You
the kind of the guiding light of this game.
you saw the trailer, like you saw the city, you saw the chicken. Like, didn't it look like Fable
Yeah.
2 to
It looked
you?
like an
Like,
up-res Fable 2. The
yeah,
world looked like the world of Fable 2.
yeah, okay. So
So you're not crazy. You're not
interesting.
wrong. You're not crazy. What I'm hearing is that they're taking out the good guy, bad guy elements
Okay.
of those Fable games. Because you know how it was like in Fable, you could either be a white knight or you could be an El Destructor. You know what I'm saying? And the game kind of swings depending on what you do. I hear they're taking out that aspect and has a lot of people riled, but that's a very old school way of thinking, which I understand them removing it because games don't really operate like that anymore. We don't have the Cole McGrath infamous "I'm good Cole" or
Yeah.
"I'm bad Cole," and there's only two endings, and like apparently this thing can splinter off in God knows how many different directions,
Hmm.
and the endings are going to be kind of all over the place. Um, but I do think that for what I'm hearing about this game, it sounds very bloated. Like, yeah, you can buy houses and you can become a landlord and you can have a harem and wife everybody in the entire city. Like, I think we're losing the point, guys. How's the story? How's the gameplay? You know what I'm
And
saying? Like
haven't they been working on this for like two
a very
decades?
they're saying they've been working on this for a very, 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 very long time. It's
Hmm.
it's like it's like Beyond Good and Evil 2. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about this 20 years ago. How's production? Fine. We're trucking along. When is it coming out? Yeah, when it's ready. You know what I mean? It's one of those where it's like it's like you
I,
said, Star Wars, right? I'm not holding my breath for Fate of the Republic or whatever. There's no
no,
damn way. That thing
no,
could be 17 years off, man. We don't
no.
know.
No. And note, you have not heard anything since that trailer, just
Nope.
FYI.
Nope.
By by the
Nope.
way, I believe not that this is coming out in fall of 2026.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't
No.
believe that in any way, shape,
No.
or
We would have seen
form.
more about it, right? We haven't seen
Uh,
anything
One would
outside
hope.
of and even
We
this,
don't even know what it is.
who cares what it is?
Like, it's not coming out fall 2026. I
One
don't buy
crazy
it.
thing I one crazy thing I will say, it's interesting that this is coming out on PS5 before it comes out on Xbox. Given the pedigree of this game
Yeah,
franchise, it's kind of like, Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out on Nintendo. It's like, ugh, as a gamer, it kind of rubs
but
me a
that's
little
where
bit the
we're
wrong
at
way.
with Xbox these days,
They're
right?
just so
So you
crap.
know what I mean?
The
Like,
Mercedes Benz of gaming, dog.
what's his name? Phil Spector, isn't that who
Phil
makes this?
Spencer, yeah.
That Phil Spencer makes it. He probably went to Xbox. Like, yeah, Fable. They're
Can
like,
we
you
get
know what,
Fable?
man?
Sorry,
We're
Sony.
actually focused on putting the Xbox on the phones right now. So Fable will talk to you about. And he's
Yeah,
like,
we're trying to get these Xboxes in toasters, man. We think toasters is really the big next thing. So we'll let Sony have this one. You're letting them have all of them. Toasters, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing
that's
the vision, dog. And
how I
with
think the
that,
conversation
that's
went.
what I'm saying. We're done, dude. We're done, dude. That was the episode of Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, episode 150, A Tale of Two Cringers. There were some cringy ones in here, and there were some really cringer ones, like Battle Cat, bro. At the end of all things, out of these four topics, which one did you have the most fun talking about?
I'm gonna go Masters of the Universe still, man. I think that's the winner of the week because I cannot expect anyone was expecting what we saw, even a
Look at this
little.
picture of Skeletor. You can't tell me that doesn't look crazy, dog.
Yeah.
It looks so damn good. I was bullied by this trailer. They literally kicked me on the ground and took my lunch money and said, "You're gonna like this, and you're not. There's nothing you can say about it."
Skeletor looks more
Mhm.
like Skeletor than Maul looks like classic Maul. You know
That's
what I mean?
wild,
And
bro.
that's wild to say.
That's wild to say.
Look, like
Like,
I'm not.
look, it, it's it's almost like, and I know we're at the end of all things here, but I just want to make one point: is that for years, these movie directors fought tooth and nail to make these characters look like how they look, right? You had the black leather suits in X-Men. You had Shaquille O'Neal as Steel. Like they refused to make them look comic book accurate because they thought it looked silly. They thought it looked goofy. They wanted to be taken seriously. And we all kind of stomached it, but we knew what we wanted. We wanted Wolverine in that yellow. We wanted Rogue in that green. You know what I'm saying? And we took what we got. And they
Yeah.
finally got the memo because of Marvel that just make them look like how they're supposed to look, and people will, you will get the fans. These characters are iconic for a reason. You know what I mean? Make Captain America red, white, and blue. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And now we've all at the end of it, and Skeletor looks like he's just out the cartoon, and it
Yeah.
still looks dope and
Looks
like
great.
this well designed. And Tamal, he is wearing a hood. He's not traditional, but let's be honest, Maul hasn't been traditional since the Phantom Menace. The guy had robots, spider legs for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The dude's been through a lot. So I'm kind of okay with Maul having a Vegeta like story arc where he's just all over the place and you just kind of it's like
Evolving.
he's evolves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna make me want to play Fallen Order again, Jedi Survivor. Yeah, you're gonna make me want to play Jedi Survivor again from start. That's a good ass game. Um, with that, Wash, do you have any final thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
No, I do not. It is going to be a winter. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's definitely going to be a winter weekend here. So, get inside the archives, watch something, play something, listen to something, do something, because there's a bunch of stuff out there to do, a bunch of stuff out there to watch. If nothing else, go back and play some old school Fable Part 1. You won't be mad. You won't be mad. I
Hey,
guarantee it.
pro tip from all my folks out there who are in sunny California: get yourself a nice little, like maybe gas powered heater. Get something that doesn't rely to be plugged into a wall, because apparently it's like snowmageddon for everywhere else but where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So please be careful. Like Was said, charge all of your devices. Make sure they're all at 100 all this weekend. Be safe out there. Be warm. Um, Sports are going on this weekend, so get hype. There's some good sports to watch and play some video games. You know what I'm saying? Read a comic. Do something nerdy.
Yeah.
Build a model kit. Do something that you would normally do, and just have some fun. With that, as
Don't do
always,
puzzles. Puzzles
don't.
suck.
I like puzzles. Get yourself a good, like a quick little 500-piece puzzle. Just throw that bad boy together real quick.
Mm.
Oh, I'm gonna bite the bullet. We are unboxing the T2 T800 this weekend. I promise you, by hook or by damn crook, that is getting unboxed this weekend. He's right there. He's been staring at me all week, talking about, come on, do it. Unbox me. Come on, do it.
Are
So I
you
have to
doing the
do it.
whole cast in Arnold voice?
No, I will die, dog. I will just literally I got my vocal cords are already kind of shredded. If I did Arnold for like 2 hours straight, my nose would just start bleeding. Brian, I don't feel so good. Just then you'll have to come find me, dog. You have to come save
That's
me out this
great.
room. With that, I'm always going to ask everyone to like this content here at Smash of the Nerdiverse. Subscribe to our channels, please. Let your friends know we are the goats, or at least we try to be. And Comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Where did we go right? Where did we go wrong? We like your feedback. That being said, I'm Master of the Nerdiverse Mike G. He's Master of the Nerdiverse Wash. We are the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. And we will say MOTN out. Have a good weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.